How's the fuck up?
Hi, how's it going? Welcome to the second episode of McAfee and Hawk, right here on this St. Patrick's Day, March 17th. Free agency frenzy is at an all-time high. The GOAT says he's leaving New England. I am Pat McAfee, the handsome man sitting to my left.
I am AJ Hawk, joining Pat McAfee for the second episode of McAfee and Hawk. Pat insisted that he get top billing, and I am completely fine with that. It's his show, it's his channel, he can have it.
That's not accurate. That is not. I wanted to go second, actually, because in American sports, normally the home team is second. Mm-hmm. So somebody is at somebody, right? So if it's this team playing this team, the second team is the home team because it's at a team. In Europe in soccer, it's hosting. So the first name is hosting whenever they list it off. But here in America, it's the second team. So I actually was thinking Hawk and McAfee because, you know, I'm hosting you on my YouTube channel right now. But McAfee and Hawk sounded good. And we called it a sports show. A lot of people tweeted us and said we missed McAfee and Hawk sports talk. We missed it. We missed it.
Well, luckily we caught it early enough, just like hopefully we're catching the coronavirus early enough to stay inside as much as we can so we can change it to McAfee and Hawk, or keep it McAfee and Hawk sports talk.
That's a good idea. But until then, we have this open that says the wrong name.
Look good, feel good, play good. Play good, pay good, live good, die good.
Live good, die good. A lot of people doing Tom Brady says he's leaving New England, AJ. Did you ever think this day was going to come? He announced it on his Twitter, on his Instagram. They had somebody on ESPN, Jeff Darlington, was breaking news by reading Tom Brady's Twitter account. He is officially moving on from New England. Was this a move by him to tell other teams, hey, come and fucking get me. I am going. I am leaving. This is not happening. Although I was at Kraft's house last night, I am looking to go elsewhere. And tell me why he isn't going to the Buccaneers. That makes too much sense to me, AJ.
Well, do we know for sure he's not going to the Buccaneers?
I think he's going to the Buccaneers. Colin Cowherd just said, Colin Cowherd, whose show has been canceled this week, put out a tweet that said he just got a phone call. Tom Brady has made his decision. So if Colin Cowherd is not trolling everybody, I would assume if he knows about it, some other people know about it, that information could be coming relatively soon. I think it's going to be the Buccaneers, though, personally. It just makes too much sense.
Well, I would imagine if Tom Brady has already chose the team he is going to, it probably will come out pretty soon if Colin Cowherd is in fact telling the truth, that he got a phone call saying that the decision is made. That'll leak out. That information is very difficult to keep under wraps, I guess. Somebody from the team will leak it out. I would imagine wherever he is going, they want to build the pub that we're bringing in Tom Brady.
He's got to be going to the Buccaneers.
I don't know, man.
Why? Why wouldn't he?
What are okay, right now, what are the options for Tom Brady? Where can he play?
Okay, so the Chargers are an option. A lot of people are saying the Dallas Cowboys still an option because Dak hasn't signed a franchise tag. So Dallas Cowboys, that would be insane if he goes there. People are saying the Colts are an option, but then they're also reporting that the Phillip Rivers deal is basically a done deal with the Colts. And then the Buccaneers, but everybody assumes this is Buccaneers-Chargers race, these two teams, everybody's saying, because Ian Rappaport reported that the Bucs made a strong offer to quarterback Tom Brady and $30 million or more. The Chargers did as well. Now he's leaving New England. And I think the Buccaneers have come out and said, we'll give you roster control. You'll be able to do whatever the fuck you want down here. I don't know why he wouldn't do that. And their defense, number 5 in the league, and they got offensive weapons everywhere.
Yeah, Tampa Bay is making more and more sense, and it's not about the money. Obviously, I'm sure he wants to get somewhat fair market value. He's played for below market value for 20 years now, so he wants to be respected in that sense, I guess. And in fact, if both teams, the money's kind of similar, I guess the whole question is, where does he feel most comfortable, and where does he feel like he has a chance to win a Super Bowl?
Where would you rather go?
Man, that's a difficult decision right now.
Let's say instead of you being at home teaching your kids school right now and having a fully functioning body as if you had been on the TB12 treatment for the last 15 years, you had avocado ice cream, you're Tom Brady, who's worth hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. If you could go to the Buccaneers or the Chargers, what would you do? You'd be the face of the Chargers organization if you go to LA, I guess.
Yeah, I know Tom's had houses in L.A. before. Maybe he likes being out in California. He's a California kid. Isn't he a Bay Area guy, though?
Yeah, that's why allegedly he wanted to go to the Niners, and the Niners said, nah, we're cool, man. Yeah, no, excuse me, no. is the answer. And Tennessee Titans told him, excuse me, no, we don't want it. And then the Raiders signed Marcus Mariota, allegedly saying no to Tom Brady. But from all reports, Tom Brady, if you believe what Robert Kraft called Stephen A. Smith and said, Tom Brady told the Patriots last night, we're good. I'm moving on. I guess he's the one who said I want it out of here.
I mean, that must be – it just shows, I guess, what their offer was to Tom Brady. It was probably almost insulting to him. Oh, yeah. And he probably wanted other things to happen around the team and offensive weapons and bringing in different things. And it sounds like he just – sometimes a change of scenery is good for everybody, and maybe the Patriots think it'll be good for them. And Tom definitely is probably excited about the opportunities. How weird does it have to be for Tom Brady right now thinking, oh, I'm not going to be back with the Patriots next year. Like that had to be a weird Instagram post to type up to finally put out. It had to be like when he hit send, it had or Twitter wherever he put it. It had to be weird once he hit send. Like, oh, this is final. Like that probably hit him. And right now he's probably caught up in the excitement of where he may go next. What it's going to be like to play for somebody else in a different uniform. But I think at some point he's going to sit down and be like, wow, this is kind of weird. I'm not going to be going to New England anymore.
I wonder if he was pumped to put that out. Like, fucking, finally, get me this.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I wonder if he was like, get me out of here. Who's typing this up for me? Who's typing this up? Who's the TB12 guy? What's his name?
Alex Guerrero.
Guerrero, get over here. Get your little typewriter out. All right, this one. I love you all as a team. Capitalize all the letters on team. Like, I wonder if that's what he did, and he send that thing out as quick as we possibly can. Let's not do it the first day. We don't want to take all the buzz. But second day, let's go ahead and do it. I wonder if Tom Brady has been waiting for this day for a long time, and I assume Robert Kraft was trying to pitch him last night pretty hard. And you said that sometimes a change of scenery can be good for everybody. Have you seen the Patriots fans' reactions this morning? Have you? I don't think it's good for everybody. There's some real problems up in New England right now.
Who are they upset at Bill Belichick and the ownership?
Do we have it? Do we have the video? This is a reaction from an actual masshole, a man who is a diehard Patriot fan from Massachusetts. This. So I don't know if everybody's taking it as well as you could say that it's a change of scenery is good for everybody. I don't think that's the case. That is masshole Connor back there, and he is not taking this well at all.
Yeah, Brady might have been happy about typing that up, but I'll tell you what, New England was not happy reading it.
They're breaking all social distancing rules, and they're out in the streets banging pans and burning Brady jerseys and stuff. It's like Cleveland, but had a worldwide pandemic when LeBron left.
So, but are they directing their anger towards Tom Brady, or are they directing it towards the Patriots organization?
Oh, yeah.
Tom Brady.
Oh, Tom. All those things that everybody from outside of New England has been saying about Tom for all these years, you know, like, oh, Vinatieri. What he literally said this verbatim in the live show this morning. He was like, without Vinatieri and without
Malcolm Butler, not Deion Branch.
They turned on Tom. Now, Belichick's message to Tom Brady was very emotional. I love you and everything like that. It was very cool. Same with Kraft. But I don't think Patriots fans are being as understanding.
Well, Bill Belichick can say whatever he wants and put out there and say how much he loves him and how much Tom means to him and the team. But the truth is, Bill Belichick didn't really want Tom Brady back that bad this year. I mean, if it was the case, the owner, the guy who's writing the checks, is the guy who said, yeah, I would love to have Tom back, but that's in Bill's hands. So obviously Bill didn't feel like it was the best interest of the team to give this guy 2 years, $50+ million.
Do you think Bill, that rumor that he wanted to get Jimmy G, move Tom and keep Jimmy G, that's turning out to probably be 100% true, huh? Now that we're looking back on it, where that was a major riff. That's why they sent Jimmy G out, is because Bill wanted Jimmy G, didn't want Tom anymore. You think that was true?
If it was true, then you definitely don't get over that. Tom Brady doesn't get over that.
No. Immediately upon that happening, it's fuck that guy forever.
Yeah, and that's what drives a guy like Tom Brady. I mean, that chip on his shoulder, he knows like where he was drafted, all of that stuff. You can go back to it, but it's true, especially at the quarterback position. Like, quarterbacks aren't scared to hold a grudge. Like, they're not going to get over that.
No. That's what makes some quarterbacks great.
I think that's what makes most of them great. And you can look at it different ways. Like, I want to prove everyone right. I want to prove like the ownership right and my coaches right that they should have me, or I want to prove everybody wrong. And most athletes take the latter and say, I'm going to prove everybody wrong, and then it feels so good for them when they do win a Super Bowl, and then they sit back and look, and they can watch the compilation clips of everyone that has written them off for the last 12 years.
Was that type of player you were, AJ? Were you motivated by outside sources? Is that what got you going, AJ?
I don't think I was smart enough to understand there were outside forces.
No, you did. Your senior year, you and your lady were a topic of conversation.
Senior year of college?
Yeah.
Bro, I was so oblivious to everything going on outside. in the world.
Get that
and
split jersey
outside
up
of
on this
what was
camera.
happening when I was in college.
Get that split jersey up here.
No, first off,
Get that split jersey on the damn screen now. AJ, you were not oblivious to the outside. There were people coming after you that just like Brady Quinn.
and we were young and stupid and naive, and some guys like, hey, you want to wear this jersey? And my wife and I have been together for like 3 months, and she said, I don't know, should I wear
That
this?
was
And
only
I said,
3
sure, why not? We didn't know they'd show her on TV. This is a long, long, long time ago. Yeah,
That is AJ Hawk's wife. Also,
she's gonna kill you. She's gonna kill somebody. She hates that.
I didn't put that up there. No, that was not us. No.
I know. No, it's fine. It's out there. I get it. I understand. It's fine. But I'm saying some people pay super close attention to everything that is said about them and about their team and surrounding it. I think you're kind of it's all or nothing. I think I've told you that, Pat. Either you read everything or you read nothing. And I was more of don't really read anything.
Yeah, because some players start getting judged that they read stuff. Because the old days was don't read your press clippings because that meant you were like a drama or a diva. And then you get in the locker room, you're like, oh, these dudes see everything. Like, for instance, Kevin Durant has made an entire career off of it. I mean, he's created burner accounts and everybody.
Pat, didn't this happen for you, Pat?
What's that?
Something that opened my eyes to it is when I would see teammates come in at halftime and peel their gloves off quick because they want to check their Twitter. Like that. I just thought, I'm like, oh, man, I don't think that's a great idea, man. Good or bad, whatever is said about you, I don't think it's going to help you in the second half.
I was a pretty big Twitter guy. I don't think I ever thought about that. That would have been awesome, though. If you know you're trending in the first half, like, oh, man, people are making fun of me. I guess I can drop a couple balls. I'm going to have to turn some shit around here in a second. Hey, is there any way you can throw me the ball a little bit? I mean, do you see what they're saying about me on the internet right now? Yeah, look, and you're like turning your phone to the quarterback at halftime. That's the world we live in, though. Currently, everybody knows everything. How do you feel about Dak Prescott potentially not signing a franchise tag and then Tom Brady coming into America's team and being a quarterback with Jerry Jones and the boys?
Well, don't you think if Jerry Jones gets frustrated with Dak not signing his franchise tag, couldn't he enter? He could float it out there or say, well, you can't bring Tom in for a visit, but they could leak out to the press that they're negotiating with Tom Brady to try to get him to Dallas to try to get Dak to sign his franchise.
Oh, yeah, that's a move they would definitely make. They leaked the information to the offer that they made to Dak last week to make it look like, hey, Dak is turning down the wealthiest contract of all time. They're already PR moving that. The Cowboys are good at that. Jerry Jones understands the game. Stephen Jones understands the game. I'm surprised they're not doing that if Dak continues not to sign this thing.
I mean, I think we could see that happen in the next day if he continues to not sign. And Dak's got to be thinking like, really? Do you really think they do that if I don't sign my franchise tag? What's it at? 30-some million this year for Dak?
33.
But Dak does want a long-term extension, and he probably deserves a long-term extension. But
hey, that's what I've said. That's what I've said this whole time. He deserves it. I agree that he deserves it. But man, the amount of gutsack it takes to stare at a piece of paper that says you're going to get $33 million guaranteed to your life and just go, nah, not signing it. That is something I strive to have one day. I strive to be able to look at a piece of paper that says $33 million is going to jump rope right into my bank account at some point and look at it and go, nah, don't want it. 12 months, not enough. I just hope that happens to me someday. So I'm very jealous of him, but I would not be surprised if they don't float that out there. That'd be a smart move. That'd be a smart move by Dallas.
Yeah, and people don't realize that, like, not even casual fans, people that are pretty serious football fans don't understand that teams and players and agents negotiate through the press like that. That's a very well-known thing.
Yeah, it's a smart move. Because if you win the mob, you win Rome.
Well said.
Man, you're so smart.
That's why I use quotes like that. So I thank you for saying that to me.
You're welcome.
Do you have anything else to say?
Hey, but think about, does Dallas have the money to pay Dak? They just gave Amari Cooper, $60 million guaranteed, $100 million over 5 years?
Was Amari Cooper got $100 million, and he turned down the Redskins. I guess the Redskins offered him more money. He was like, nah, I'm going to stay here with Dallas and get $100 million as a wide receiver that scored 8 touchdowns last year. He was immediately a weapon for the Cowboys. I respect the hell out of him getting his money. But you're 100% right. They paid Amari. They paid Dak. They pay other people.
Zeke. Lyle
No, they didn't pay
Collins.
Dak. I'm sorry. They paid Zeke. And Dak's sitting there like, you're paying all these people here, okay? You're paying all these people here, and I'm still not getting this big-time deal. Maybe he takes it as a shot. Maybe he hopes that they withdraw the franchise tag and sign Tom Brady so he can go elsewhere.
I don't know. I mean, he would be very unhappy to pull that move, I guess. But with Amari Cooper, yeah, I understand why they signed him. Didn't Zeke, I think they restructured him a bit, probably gave him more guarantee to create a little cap space to bring Amari on. I think he did that.
I like Zeke holding out and getting paid, by the way. That never works.
especially for a running back on his second contract. That shows you how good Zeke is and how much Jerry Jones truly likes him to give him, what, $90-some million?
Bro, coming out of Cabo, too. Not even fucking around. Just straight out of Cabo. The holdouts never work. It feels like holdouts never work. Strikes never work. Holdouts never work. It gets your point across. Everybody understands where you're coming from now, but it rarely works. It worked for Zeke, and there's a reason. Do you know anything? Do you know Zeke, you Ohio State folks? Do you guys have like a Legends community where you guys all get license plate that say Ohio State Legend, and then you guys hang out in groups and talk to each other?
Obviously not. We don't have that kind of group going on. I know Zeke decently well. I see him I just saw him a month ago on the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. He's been on there the last 3 or 4 years.
You guys are lucky you got off that fucking boat, pal.
Yeah.
Cruises are not a spot to be right now. Oh, my God. Bad place to be. Bad place to be.
Oh, yeah. Very bad place to be. But Zeke was over there entertaining all the fans, 2,500 Ohio State fans on that boat, and Zeke's hanging out with everybody every single day. So, yeah, he's a good guy, man.
I did not know that about Zeke. I'm happy to hear that about Zeke. Good guy. I'm happy to hear you guys all got off that boat without the virus, too.
Yeah, we had heard, you knew of coronavirus when we got on the boat, and there were some emails they sent, like if you'd been to mainland China within the last month, you can't come on the boat and all this stuff. But, yeah, then we got off in a week or two afterwards. Everything starts hitting here.
A lot of Ohio State Buckeye fans take trips over to mainland China, I think.
Yeah.
That is a good.
Well,
that's a good questionnaire to put out there. For the
there's
Ohio
about 50,000 undergrad students at Ohio State every year, so there's a massive alumni group that has been at Ohio State at some point in their life. So they live all over the world, obviously, Pat.
Ohio State, yeah. I've seen those Buckeyes fans. They came after me in my mentions. Whenever Urban Meyer and I had our little squabble on the internet, I had a lot of Buckeye fans come after me. What a passionate fan group. Jesus. I mean, they are a passionate bunch. They love Urban Meyer.
Yeah, they do. And you guys getting a little dust up online. I thought that was great. You guys going back and forth. Everyone loves a little media wars.
I liked it too. By the way, I had to soften that tweet about 14 to 15 times because it was a little bit too aggressive. I just want to let you know that.
Wait, you mean you retyped it before you hit send?
Oh, yeah. That's one of the first times I've ever typed something out, read it, and was like, probably take that one out, and then you got to reshape it, right? And then I'm going to take out that reference. And then it was like 15 times because I knew it was going to do something. Right? And I knew he was taking a direct shot at me. So it was like, I have to respond. I have to. I can't just sit here and not say something. But boy, I am not a representative of this show that I'm going to be said to be representing. So it's like, I am in an interesting spot. So I thought, do I bring a massive hammer and just blow this thing out of the water? Or do I soften it and let Urban Meyer, I get what you were trying to say, but I can't just be a bitch and sit here and take this. So I had to kind of balance it. But
so could you give me the Cliff's Notes version of the first draft of that tweet that you sent out? Could you just voice it to me?
Can't do it. That's why I had to delete it. What do you want me to do it now? No, I can't.
Time has passed now. You can say it.
It was about a documentary that got released, though. There was a documentary that got released about it. And who's the guy? Sansucci?
Yeah, Sansucci. Yeah.
There was an entire that was getting referenced.
Was this when you won the Heisman for radio?
Oh, thanks for mentioning that, actually. Urban Meyer got one of those. I don't know. You tell me. No, let's get back to football. Stephon Diggs basically worked his way out of Minnesota Vikings to go to Buffalo Bills. How do you feel about players? There's a new generation, it feels like, of football right now. Players are much more in control, I think, than they ever have been in the past. That's why it'll be interesting to see what happens with Joe fucking Burrow with Cincinnati. Obviously, I hope he plays for the Bengals. It'd be a great face of that franchise. They haven't had one in a long time, and they never win. It'd be great if they could finally get over the hope. Andy Dalton tried his damn best, but it seems like that is potentially an organization to fail. But you see, Antonio Brown, Le'Veon Bell, people kind of move themselves, get them out of situations. Stephon Diggs, working out in an Arizona Cardinals shirt just a couple weeks ago, threw his helmet in a playoff game, was fined $200,000 for being mad. It seemed like Stephon Diggs wanted out of Minnesota, and he got out of there, and now he's in Buffalo. How do you feel about this entire deal?
Well, they had to Buffalo gave up a bunch of picks for him, didn't they? Didn't they give him a first, a fourth, a second, and a fourth the next year or something?
Yeah, first, a fifth, a sixth, and a fourth round, and a 2021 fourth. Yeah.
So wouldn't you say for the Minnesota Vikings that is a win on that trade?
Guy didn't want to be here, hated being here, wanted to leave, and we're going to get 4 picks that could potentially pick us up another couple weapons. We got Kyle Rudolph, we got Thielen, we got Dalvin Cook. Maybe we can get a weapon here in the 4th round or something like that. I mean, it feels like it's a win, but it's very interesting because Stephon Diggs is a good player. He's a good player.
He's a great player, but do you think it continue it keeps compounding, like different things he's done. When Kirk Cousins signed his deal, didn't he tweet something like eyeball emojis or something? Like he just seems like he's not super happy there. So, and going back to what we talked about earlier in the show, a change of scenery for Stephon Diggs obviously sounds like it was needed. And the Vikings, like they knew that they didn't have to have him on the roster anymore, especially with how good Thielen is.
You think Josh Allen is going to be a good quarterback?
Yeah, the Bills are a weird team to me. Like the fact that the Bills are in the playoffs this year and everything. I know their defense played very well. I love Micah Hyde, who plays in the back end there. I played with him in Green Bay. He's a stud. Josh Allen, I called one of his college games, and the dude obviously has a monster arm. Like we all know that. I think he definitely has the potential to be a 12, 15-year franchise QB there in Buffalo.
You're calling Wyoming games?
I did a couple years ago when he was still there, yeah.
You deserve more respect. You should not have been on Wyoming games, AJ.
I was pumped. I was pumped to do a Josh Allen game.
I understand. Okay, that makes sense. That's a good spin zone. I mean, that's really good spin zone.
Yeah. I don't care, Pat.
What was that, like a 4-day trip out into the big sky country out there?
I was there about 16 hours.
Maybe you should care a little bit more about your work. You won't be calling Wyoming fucking games.
I do care about my work. I was doing a game Friday night for Adidas, a high school situation, and I flew right there afterwards.
I forgot you were calling like 7-hour-long high school games with no commercials. No commercials at all. You were just talking the entire time, right?
Yeah.
AJ, you have cut your teeth in this business in such an interesting fact. Those high school games, you don't know any of the players, right? Do you have any idea who the players were?
Well, of course not. But what we were doing was through Adidas. They put a bunch of money up and they put unbelievable production out. And we did games where there would be 10 or 12 like 5-star guys on the field going to the biggest schools in the country. So we called unbelievable players, but no, I didn't know any of them going in. I had to learn. That's what you do when you do a game. You got to learn about all the players.
That's what. Yeah, I should have done that for this past week's Thursday Night Football, man. Hey, there were so many players. How am I supposed to know everybody? I mean, come on, guys. Oh, 12 Cuzzy just did a great job. A little bit of an update from the real world here. Mm-hmm. Breaking news: Italy reports 3,526 new cases. Total 31,506 cases in total of coronavirus, with over 2,500 dead. So back to sports. Amari Cooper signs. Bro, think about the world we are in right now. You're teaching your kids in your living room. Who knows how that's going? Bars, restaurants are just shut down. The building, I just got a text from the people that own this building. They're like, hey, we'll have a rotating staff in every once in a while. If you need anything, let us know. It's like, okay, so this building's just shutting down completely. Places are just stopping. This is a wild time, AJ. This is a wild time.
I'm sure, though, that you guys are sanitizing the studio just unbelievably, just perfectly every single night when you guys leave, right?
Absolutely.
Nail on the head.
Oh, my God. You know this group. You
Clorox, sanitizer. We got it all.
Lysol.
Yep.
No one's pissing on the floor anymore, so that helps.
I doubt there's 300 half-drank iced coffee from Starbucks sitting directly to Pat's left.
It's tea, thanks. I'm not a coffee guy, but
cool.
By the way, I'm out on this. We won't have delivery. We don't do deliveries anymore.
Nope.
Wait, there's no deliveries in Indy?
There might be, but not here. I think deliveries are worse than anything else. Why are people just letting people deliver? You're supposed to be in lockdown, and then all of a sudden you just let some random in with your food.
No. Have them leave it outside the door.
Oh, then they're going to spray it down with Lysol? Like, what are we doing? Am I getting a whole kit on to pick it up? You don't know what they're sneezing in your bag?
Okay.
Hey, let me read some numbers for you.
I know the numbers. Please don't read the numbers again. I understand. It's very sad what's happening. But I think, I don't know, yeah. Clorox wipe your food then, Pat. The outside of the containers.
All right. How do you feel about Teddy Bridgewater going to the Carolina Panthers? 3 years, $60 million. They're saying while they're putting Cam Newton on the market, he's probably going to end up at the Chargers. Good for the Chargers, finding a franchise player, and Cam Newton potentially finding a new home where he can, be all in again.
Yeah, so Teddy, that's not final, though. It's not confirmed.
This is all bullshit.
But most likely Teddy Bridgewater is going to sign with Carolina, correct?
That's what they're saying. And by the way, Joe Brady, offensive coordinator for the Carolina Panthers from the LSU squad, was with the Saints when Teddy Bridgewater was there. That's the connection everybody's saying.
So, yeah, Teddy Bridgewater, I'm just not sure about what kind of quarterback he is. I know I played against him when he was in Minnesota. I think 2015 he started the whole year. He had 14 touchdowns and 9 picks. I mean, that's he played well when he came in his rookie year. He replaced Castle. I remember when Castle got hurt and he played a good amount of games. He played really well and found a way to win. That's what he's like, a gamer. He finds a way to win. Like when he got thrust in the lineup with the Saints this year, finds a way to win. I just don't know if he's your franchise guy. And that's, if it's a 3-year, $30 million deal, you know what? That tells me that the Panthers aren't 100% sure that he's a franchise guy either. So it's like a 3-year, $30 million. Hey, this should keep you happy. If you play great after the second year, maybe we'll re-up you and give you a franchise quarterback contract.
Bro, it's $60 million. 3 years, $60 million.
Just kidding. They paid him like a franchise quarterback. So they are sure. They do believe in him. They are confident that he's their guy. Matt Rule is going to ride him and hopefully take him to the promised land.
By the way, $20 million a year is a great deal for a starting quarterback in the NFL right now. Jacoby got that. The Colts got that with Jacoby whenever they paid him last year, whenever Andrew, retired 10 days before the season or whatever. And this is obviously a $20 million. It's a good deal for them, especially if they think they did find a franchise guy. The interesting thing here is they clearly chose Teddy Bridgewater over Cam Newton, and now it's getting a little bit ugly in the comments section of the Carolina Panthers. I don't know if you've seen this. Carolina Panthers put on Instagram a picture of Cam Newton. They said, we've allowed Cam Newton and his team to proceed to find teams to trade or whatever. And Cam Newton wrote in his language that is not the case. You were forcing me to do this. I do not want to leave. This is you guys telling me to leave. And then Greg Olsen comes in off the top rope tag team. He says, that sounds very familiar. So it sounds like the Panthers trying to get rid of the last regime as much as possible, telling Cam, like, hey, you need to go find another place to play. And now they're signing in Teddy. So they're picking Teddy over Cam, which is Joe Brady. Obviously, it has to be his relationship with him for them to do that.
Well, Pat, I've sat in a production meeting with you when we spoke to Matt Rule, when we worked the Baylor-Texas Tech game.
That's right.
And what did Matt Rule say to me? He said, hey, I'm like the most least fun coach to play for. He told us that in that meeting.
Yeah, that is what he said.
I said, Coach, what do you mean by that? He's like, well, like, I don't have all this music playing and do all this. I'm just about work. Like, we're out there working and wearing pads and grinding. He's like, yeah, my players, like, I love them and everything, but they don't have a whole lot of fun here with me. And so I think Matt Rule's coming in and saying, hey, there's a new sheriff in town. This is what we're going to do. We're going to craft this team. I lost Luke Kuechly, retired on me. I got to find a way, and this is the path that I'm going to go with it. And I respect coaches that come in and do it their way, and they don't worry about all the outside influences, because some people, they get a head job and they hold on so tight because they don't know if they're going to get another one, and so they want to keep that job, and they do things off of what they think, like how the media may pressure them or what things that may look good to the fan base. No, Matt Rule and everyone there seems like they're going to do what they feel like gives the team the best chance to win. And if they get fired eventually, then he can say, hey, I did it my way.
It is interesting when you watch a coach try to find his identity as a head guy. Is he normally loved by the players, and then he gets the head job and he feels as if he has to act a little bit differently? So then he's not really acting like himself, and players can see right through that immediately, like, hey, this is not the guy. This isn't you. Or potentially in the world that we live in, do you think Matt Rule's style of being a no-nonsense, kind of like a hard-nosed coach, is going to work in the NFL in 2020? I'm intrigued to see that as well.
See, I think Matt Rule's smart enough that it will work because he knows, like, the balance. He knows the push and pull.
I like Matt Rule a lot, by the way. I'm a big fan of Matt Rule.
And he has experience in the NFL as an assistant, and he has head coaching experience at the college level. So I think he understands. He's not like some college guy that's never been around an NFL team. He understands how it works. So I think there may be some growing pains early on. Remember Matt Patricia in Detroit? They're all complaining about how much he's making them condition after practice and all of this stuff. And now they seem to have settled in, and they're going to hopefully get some more wins for Matt Patricia. But I think Matt Rule might be tough early on. Might be a tough transition. I mean, Ron Rivera is beloved as like a player's coach that everyone just seems like a really, really good, solid human. Matt Rule the same way, but I think he may be more of like play more of the dictator role.
Do you remember when Matt Patricia was getting judged by players that left because he was making them work on fundamentals too much? That was an actual quote. We're working on too many fundamentals. Like, oh, man, that sounds bad to be complaining about. Like, that is what you would think. Like, some people, like a coach coaching fundamentals is not a bad thing. And players are like, this is terrible. This is the worst fucking time. We practice fundamentals and stuff. Like, we're past that. I'm like, you guys just look bad in that case. But it's real, though. Some places are much different environments than other places, I would imagine. And it's whether or not somebody wants to buy in. I think we probably have some questions from YouTube. Do we, Zito?
Oh, yeah.
We got an open for this. We got an intro for this, too, Mr. Hawk. Oh, we do. Yeah, we do. Foxy from fucking Detroit. We talk about
you guys do. You guys are so good, man. Thank you. I appreciate you guys again.
AJ.
Wow.
Serious.
Come on,
You guys do stuff
AJ.
so quickly.
Look at his motivation.
AJ, really?
YouTube questions.
Attaboy, Z. What do we got, pal?
First one is, please ask the guys, who was the best quarterback for the Bears? Bertan. From Joe Probst.
Like just in the history?
Oh, no, just free agency right now.
You know, whenever we saw Kyle Allen have his success down in Carolina this year, and it became Christian McCaffrey's team, right? Carolina Panthers became Christian McCaffrey's team. I think that happened this year. I had the inkling that Cam Newton, after watching the inside sources on like Prime, I think they had a special on it, that Cam Newton was very much like that team. Like the way he acted in practice and in meetings, he was very much the guy of that team. He gets hurt, it becomes Christian McCaffrey's team. I thought it would have been hard for them to transition back to a Cam Newton team if it's already Christian McCaffrey's team. Just because, I don't think Cam Newton doesn't have football left. I just think that the culture kind of changed a little bit. And then Ron Rivera gets fired. And, I just kind of assumed that Cam Newton was going to be moving. And I thought a good spot for him would be the Chicago Bears, because the Chicago Bears seem to be one really good quarterback or special player away from being good. It felt like their defense was very good, but even the defense quit because they knew how bad the offense was going to be. Like it just felt like there was even games that the defense was like, fuck this. No matter what happens, that other side isn't going to be able to figure it out. But the more and more we go forward, I think Cam Newton ends up as a Charger. Like that's really what I think happens. And that's just my personal question. I'm not 100% sure, but that's what I think. So for the Bears, I have no idea what they're going to do. Yesterday the conversation was Nick Foles. Yesterday the conversation was potentially Dalton. I have no idea what the Bears are going to do. They'll probably end up just with Mitchell Trubisky again. It's a big crapshoot on whether or not he's going to be worth the fuck or not. That's probably what's going to happen.
But haven't the Bears made it known that they are out looking for a quarterback to bring on the roster?
Everything's like per sources, and then it gets shot down. It's like I think the Bears are floating stuff out there just to see what they could potentially get, but I'm not 100% they've come out and said we've moved on from Mitchell Trubisky, have they?
No, but players have came out when they were looking out yesterday. I think it was Cordero. He basically said they want competition there no matter what. So
Cordero Patterson said that?
Yep.
Yeah.
How long's he been on the team? How long's he been on the team for? Like
1 year. This is his first year.
Cordero Patterson just shows up and he's like, I've been around, man. I don't got a lot of time left. We need some fucking competition at quarterback.
They signed Robert Quinn today, too. So, a competent quarterback is really, all that they have left that they really need.
That team could have been really good. They were talking about potential Super Bowl run last year, and then, after the block kick that hit two uprights.
Don't say it. Oh, come on.
It's not double doink. It was
Robert Quinn, I mean, that signing shouldn't go under the radar. Robert Quinn's a stud. Him and Khalil Mack on the outside, especially how Robert Quinn is a super athletic speed rusher, dynamic, and can bend and lean. And then you can have Khalil, who complements that very well on the backside, which he can beat you any way you want. I mean, he's a power bull rusher, but then he has plenty of moves off of it. I think they'll be a good tandem. So they absolutely want a quarterback in there. Hey, I may be a broken record, Pat. What if they make a run at Tom Brady? Let him tutor Mitchell Trubisky for 2 years.
Why not? Why not?
They should. I'm sure at least somebody's kicking the tires on Tom, aren't they?
Do you think, though, with the way Matt Nagy has been portrayed as a head coach, do you think Tom Brady would want to go to Matt Nagy, or do you think he'd want to go like Bruce Arians or somewhere else? Do you think Matt Nagy will give him control? You think Ryan Pace will give him control?
I think if Tom Brady, wherever he goes, he can have as much control as he wants.
I think so, too. And by the way, I got to see Peyton, so he had control over everything. I just assumed that was everywhere. So to find out that that's not the case, and Peyton and Tom have been hanging out, right? They were golfing in Jim Nance's fucking backyard just a couple weeks ago on ESPN. They've been hanging out. I wonder if Jim or Tom was asking Peyton, what it was like, and Peyton was like, oh, you got to get that guy out of there. It's like, and Tom's like, what do you mean? I just cut him. Tom's like, I can't just fucking cut a guy. And Peyton's like, oh, well, you're not doing it right then. I could just be able to say, that guy, get him out of here. That guy, trade him to Tennessee. That guy, Peyton used to be able to do that type of thing. I honestly, Tom Brady not having that control is very wild to me. And then as you see that he's getting upset about it, you would think 20 years into it, he's finally at the point where he's like, I'd like to have a little bit of say in some more things. I think my brain is just as good as maybe some others. And I would respect that.
I think there's 31 teams in the league that Tom Brady can have that control, and the only one that he can't is in New England. So after 20 years, he seems like he's had enough. The Patriots seem like they're okay moving on.
Don't go there, AJ.
Did you hear what AJ just said?
Wow, AJ.
What? What'd I say?
You heard
Thank
yourself.
You ever heard of this, man?
I didn't say that he's a
You
candidate
said
to go.
31 teams. 31 teams you said, AJ.
Teams. You're 20 to a player. For the audio listeners, to a picture of
There is
Aaron
no
Rodgers.
audio listeners. This is just on the YouTube.
Who cares? Your best friend. I'm sure you'll cut up and put it in with a podcast of 38 other guests out sometime, so it doesn't matter where we're going.
No, that's not.
So offended. Pat is so offended.
That
right
is
now.
not accurate. But I am pretty offended about,
I didn't say he's a candidate to go to Green Bay. I said there's 31 other teams where he could have that control.
Just say 30.
Aaron is the starting quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. If for some reason Aaron was not the quarterback in Green Bay and Tom was in Green Bay, he wouldn't have as much control as Peyton had in Indianapolis, but he would have way more control than he had in New England.
I don't even know if
Okay.
Aaron had control, to be honest. He wasn't happy when Jordy got cut.
Yeah, and he wasn't happy when, what's his
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying Aaron has like that Peyton control in Green Bay. No, I mean, it's,
No, I know. We know.
Yeah.
We were just saying how you clearly just kind of said that Tom Brady, if
Packers
you,
would rather have Brady than Rodgers.
not even close. You got. I don't know how you misconstrued what I
Sure
said.
sounded
The
like
team.
that.
I'm not talking about Aaron and the team. I'm talking about the organization and the power you could have.
listen, what you said. It sounded like that's exactly what you said, AJ.
You said it
Cool.
about us.
Run it back. If that's how you took it, I'm sorry that you're not intelligent enough to understand what I said.
Oh, so now I'm stupid. Wow.
I honestly, Pat, I could play you like a fiddle. It's so easy to get you all riled up and so pissed off.
No, I don't ride the ebbs and flows of the conversation. That's not what I do.
You want another question, or you good?
Yeah, sure, let's do it.
Why does no one talk about the Steelers needing more weapons on offense? Who do you think they should go after? Devin Stubbs.
Devin Staub's talking about the Steelers.
Oh, yeah, Steelers talk.
Well, Mark Madden. You know who Mark Madden is, AJ Hawk?
I don't think so.
He's a local sports radio show host in Pittsburgh, and he is maybe the best heel in the history of heels. Bad guy in wrestling. He hates the Steelers, and he's a Pittsburgh sports talk show host, and Pittsburgh loves the Steelers, so he just stirs the pot. And he talked about how the Steelers don't have a number one receiver or a number one running back, but they think they have both of them, and that's the biggest problem. And although that's a massive shot at Juju, who's very young, and at James Conner, that is an interesting statement. It doesn't feel as if in that Dante Johnson, is that
Deontay, yeah.
Deontay Johnson, he seems like he's good, but the Steelers don't really have a stud. But if you look at the AFC North, Baltimore Ravens, Lamar Jackson, let's assume he's going to come back and be good. I don't know how they're going to fix the Yonda situation. The Cleveland Browns, what are they going to be able to do? Either bring in Case Keenum to hopefully be a good backup for Baker. The Bengals are the Bengals. The Steelers with Ben Roethlisberger back are going to have a chance, but it doesn't feel like they have the weapons of the past.
No, he doesn't have a ton of weapons there. I mean, I could see it's not like a huge splash signing, but why don't they go get a guy like Eric Ebron from Indianapolis, the tight end, give him another option there at the tight end for Ben to throw to. I mean, I know Randall Cobb, what he re-signed, he got paid by
18,
Houston.
18 of them things. Randall Cobb and David Johnson are like $38 million combined, and DeAndre Hopkins would have been like 26 or something like that. So they're paying more for both those players and losing potentially top 4 wide receiver in the NFL for a second-round pick.
You know the good thing, though, for the Steelers, there's not a whole lot of receivers out there. I mean, Robbie Anderson, I think, is still out there. He hasn't signed with anybody from the Jets.
True.
But if there's one thing, this draft class is deep with receivers. So I'm sure they're looking at the draft thinking, all right, we're gonna draft a couple guys to play receiver for us.
How many times do you play against Ben Roethlisberger?
Decent amount.
He never gets the credit for what he does on the field because of what he does off the field.
What does he do off the field? Nothing anymore, though.
No, but there's always just, I don't think I've heard one. He threw a rookie wide receiver under the bus, like 3 years ago or something like that, 2 years ago on a local radio show. It's like he does the things that like, you're always like, but why would a starting quarterback do that? And then he goes on the field and he throws for 700 yards. It's like, oh, okay, this guy pretty good at football. He never gets talked about in the same level as the people I think he should as a football player.
I mean, you're right. Ben's done some amazing. He's got 2 rings. Luckily, we played Ben in the Super Bowl back when I was in Green Bay, and we beat him. Luckily, it was a tough one. But
You won a Super Bowl?
yeah,
Whoa.
You won a Super Bowl?
didn't you win a Super Bowl your rookie year, Pat?
Oh, AJ.
Hey,
What?
what'd you do?
I thought you guys won.
Oh, are you just rubbing it in my face?
Mr. Hawk.
Oh, aren't you just so fucking proud of yourself?
What? What's going on? What? I do like you telling the story about your first kickoff for the Super Bowl how nervous you were. I'm just so happy you made contact.
Almost got to delay a game, but we lost that Super Bowl because Drew Brees and his baby, if you do recall. And I used to say dumb baby. I don't say dumb anymore because I'm friends with Drew Brees now because he came on the show and he punked Green Bay Packer owner Ty Schmidt.
Yeah, Drew Brees is a prick.
He does not like him. Drew Brees was mean to him, but he's very nice to the rest of us. And we will have Drew Brees on the show at any time. Love Drew Brees. But we lost. You won a Super Bowl? I didn't know you were a Super Bowl champion. You ever wear that ring around town, man?
No, I don't. But Drew Brees just re-signed 2 years, $50 million with the Saints. You see it?
25 per. How do you feel about that price tag? What do you think Phil Rivers is signing for with the Colts?
I don't think he gets that much, does he?
I don't know. They're negotiating the deal before they probably heard what Drew Brees' deal was. So it's probably 20 to 25. I'd assume he's getting that.
Yeah, it probably comes in a little bit under a little under 50 mil, 2 years, 50 mil maybe. Do you think he's still going to the Colts, Phil Rivers?
Somebody tweeted today that seemed to have some credibility.
Matt Miller
at NFL Draft Scout. He said that a deal between the Colts and Phillip Rivers is basically imminent or something like that.
All but done.
I guess they're dealing with the fact that you got to pass a physical, when you sign with a new team and you sign an extension. So it'll all be pending the physical. Do you get a physical from the person, like a doctor in town, wherever, say, Phil Rivers is living in Florida or California, wherever he is right now? Or do they have to wait till he gets in? The team doctors can see him whenever the hell that opens up. Like, how do we do it?
That is so interesting because it can't be pending physical because that might be another month away from now. And
that's why they're going to have to find a way to get a doc to come to their house that they trust. It's going to have to be somebody that they trust too. You know how NFL coaches, execs, teams are. They are the most paranoid people on the planet. So they're going to have to really trust whoever they send over to do that physical. But normally when you get physical, like they're going to put you through MRI, like any previous injury you may have that they may be worried about. They're going to put you through MRIs, X-rays. So, I mean, I guess you can still technically do that right now, but it's not great optics for the league if you have 6'7" Phil Rivers walking in to get an MRI and wearing a mask and people are worried about coronavirus. We know that's not going to happen.
Check my shoulder. He looked like he was throwing a med ball at the end of the year last year. I hope he was hurt somehow. I hope something was wrong. 'Cause towards the end of the year there, he looked like he was just throwing footballs into defensive meeting rooms. I mean, it was just like, I don't give a damn.
So why are you so excited about him coming to your Indianapolis Colts?
You know, I think it was that video of him talking shit. I think that really has won me over. Honestly, I have no idea how he is as a football player currently. Towards the end of the year, it didn't look great, but I assume he was good before that. I assume if Chris Ballard's going to sign him, he did good. I trust Chris Ballard. But that video that went viral of him talking just without swearing, just talking trash, just so much is made me be like, you know what? I love this guy. And you know what? I hope he gets a chance to get on a good team and make a run. And the Colts are a good team right now, and they can maybe make a run. And I just don't know if he has it in him or not. But he also might have just said, fuck it last year. I'm driving to work every day from San Diego to Los Angeles. I hate this. I'm done with it. I'm just throwing it up, whatever, like backyard football style. Maybe for him and Frank Reich can get dialed in one more year, they have a real run. That'd be cool.
I'm sure he would love to get with Frank Reich. And like we said, their offensive line is very good in Indianapolis. They should hopefully keep him upright. He has weapons on the outside as well, and their defense can play at a super high level. So, yeah, it seems like it makes sense, but there's also multiple other options out there at the quarterback position if the Colts want to explore those. And like we said, maybe they're doing some homework on Tom Brady. Who knows? Maybe someone's sending out some smoke signals to try to say it's a done deal for Phil.
You think Marcus Mariota stinks?
I don't know what Marcus Mariota is. I don't know. Like, he has that weird throwing motion. I know he has some nerve. He had nerve damage in his elbow of his throwing arm or whatever, wherever it was in his arm. That scares me because I don't know how nerve damage ever comes back or how it's ever going to be 100% healed, which it probably won't. But I'd be scared to make him a franchise quarterback. Absolutely. That's what we saw the Tennessee Titans were.
Yeah, I don't know. Because I always had pretty positive thoughts about Marcus Mariota's football ability. But then if you just look back at this last year, as soon as he got benched, they got really good at football. I mean, that's just a very bad look when you're in a contract year, that whenever you get benched, the team gets a lot better. And especially at quarterback, that seems to be a pretty valuable stat to have on your side. I always thought Marcus Mariota was good. I remember playing against him thinking like, hey, this guy's good at football. It never really panned out. And then as soon as they put him on the bench, it's like, Titans take off. They go on this miraculous run. They got Tannehill another 100-some million and Derrick Henry franchise tag. So I think that maybe is why I'm like confused by it all. I didn't think he was going to get signed before some other folks, but it's interesting to me out there in Las Vegas what the hell they're going to do.
Were you surprised though with how much money they paid Tannehill? Like, they're sold. He's their guy.
I thought he was going to take a team-friendly deal because he's been in a place that was terrible in Miami. Now he's had a chance at some success. They have 28 free agents going into this offseason. Maybe take a team-friendly deal so they can keep that train rolling because of how much fun and success they had. And then turns out, no. He is getting a $100 million contract. He's getting $91 million in total guarantees, which I'm not exactly sure what the fuck that means compared to $62 million in full guarantees. But he's making a lot of money. I did not expect a 29.5 average salary. I thought it was going to be like 20, maybe 22.
Well, I think after the second year, they can kind of make a decision. He paid 60-some mil, but then if he's on the roster day one of the league year for his third season, he gets a full 30-some more guaranteed to injury. So they could cut him before that day, and they don't owe him that money.
17.5 too this first year, so they can still pay other people like Derrick Henry, for instance, who's going to be on franchise tag, and the other 26 free agents. They lost Jack Conklin. He ends up at the Browns. The Browns get better on the offensive line. Good for them because that Browns offensive line stunk last year. So you got to bring in somebody, I guess. What was that G's for? You didn't like it, or you did like it?
No, I like what the Browns are doing still. I mean, they had Austin Hooper at the tight end position too. Like, they got weapons everywhere you look, and they're trying to make their O-line better.
Andrew Berry, smart guy. I thought he should have been the Colts GM.
What happened?
He was like 25 or 24 at the time, or 25 or something, 26 maybe. He's very young. He's still young. But
your boys with Ballard, the GM of the Colts, he seems like a really good dude.
He is a good dude. Every time we talk to him, he seems really genuine. He gives us answers. Now, granted, he didn't do an interview with me postseason. Gave other people interviews, so maybe he's not sitting as high on my guy list. Right
You'll
now.
hold that grudge for life, I'm sure. But I want to get back to the Drew Brees, Ty Schmidt thing. Was he really a dick?
Oh, yeah. Shook everyone's hand. Made it a point, basically. He basically put his elbow into the middle of my back and, like, pushed my head down off the desk so that he could shake Zito's hand and then left the set.
Excuse me, that was Cuban Zeet, by the way. Cuban Zeet was getting shouted out by Young Jeezy, Lil Nas. I mean, Cuban Zeet was getting shouted out by everybody, so Drew Brees wanted to see what it was all about. I'm not even sure he saw Ty when he hit him with that whooping elbow to the back.
He did, because, I mean, I was eating out of a straw for about a week. So.
Wait, where did this happen?
On Radio Row.
Was he messing with you, though? Like I can see myself doing that,
not
messing
at all.
with you. Like, I'm out of here and give you a quick elbow to the temple.
That's what you do to people?
Like guys you're close with, yeah, you rough each other up.
Just got boys in here elbowing each other in the temple. Let's go. Come
Maybe
on.
Drew felt a connection with Ty, and he's like, we're close enough. I can do this. I'll give him a little noogie and get out of here.
He was very nice to everybody. He was literally very nice to everybody. I don't think there would be more glowing praises for a human than Drew Brees. He had brought us food. I mean, he did everything.
His smoothie franchise sucks, too.
Oh, my God. Ty.
Smoothie King.
Ty. Literally. Ty, he just signed for 2 years, $50 million. We'd be happy for the guy and not bury him. But Smoothie, it was very good. I enjoyed it. But literally, as soon as he left, we go to commercial. I'm like, man, I fucking love Drew Brees. That was awesome. And then Ty goes, hate that guy. I'm like, Ty, what happened? He elbowed me in the back. I was eating the table. I was like, oh, my God. I didn't even know. But I don't think Drew Brees knew. It was tight. Remember, we were on a small little table down there. Jim Rome had this massive, big setup that they had to set up for 2 hours, so we couldn't be on there. We were on this tiny little setup down there. He didn't have a lot of space.
Okay, so I wanted to ask you about the Tampa Bay Bucs. Let's say Tom Brady signs there. Hypothetically, Tom signs in Tampa Bay tonight, 8 p.m., prime time. He live streams from his house, him signing a contract.
The Decision Part 2, Facebook, Tom versus Time versus Tampa.
Man, what a great documentary.
Oh, my God.
I'm dead.
Did I just think for Zuckerberg?
So
Drop
what
that
happens to Jameis? Where does Jameis Winston go?
You should hear fucking Boston Connor.
Bring him up to New England, baby. We'll go right back to the bowl. We'll see you there, Tom.
I mean, I like your passion. I really do respect it. Do you think he fits in the system there in New England?
You cannot throw 30 interceptions on a contract year and anybody take you serious. I just don't know how it's – I think he's very talented. He threw for 5,000 yards. He threw for 5,000 yards. It's not easy to do. But then in the same sentence, he threw the ball to the other team 30 times. And then documented footage, unless it's been, edited, somebody tweeted us who very much hates Jameis, the person that tweeted us this video. There's another 21 dropped interceptions this year. So that could have been 50 turnovers. You can't turn the ball over 50 times and expect somebody to write you a $100 million check and put the franchise in your hands. It's just not going to happen. He's going to have to go somewhere and have a situation pop up like the Tannehill situation. In my eyes, I think that's going to happen. But there's some Patriots fans who are very much like, hey, if everybody disrespects him and his money falls, bring him right up to Patriots because that's all we can really afford is somebody that falls down about 7-8 contract worths.
Yep.
They don't have a lot of money up there at all. Andy Dalton's going to New England, isn't he?
He should be going there. I think it's a perfect spot for everybody. But on the flip side of that Jameis thing, you said there's 21 other ones that should have been intercepted. Didn't Bruce Arians come out and say that there's only 20 of the 30 interceptions are Jameis's fault that he would put on him? The others were receivers.
And Carson Palmer in the Bruce Arians offense said his first season he threw like 20 or something interceptions, 27 interceptions, and then it got cut in half in his second year in Bruce Arians offense because the offense has so many intricate little details on the routes and everything like that. So it is a known very difficult offense, but I don't think if you have ever coached the Bruce Arians offense or anything like that, you could ever pay somebody a maximum amount of money who threw 30 fucking interceptions. That's just so many interceptions. That's tough, I bet, for people to get over.
What's the offense look like, though, for Tom Brady? If Tom knows that and Tom knows, hey, my interceptions may be up in this scheme, do I really want to go there if it's going to take me a full year to kind of digest it?
I think they'll change.
Oh, they definitely will change. They'll implement a lot of what Tom wants to do. That's what all great coaches do. They take their talent and they build the scheme around them. So you would change things up, but there's staples, Pat. You've been with Bruce Arians. There's staples into what every coach does, like what they carry through their career. They obviously morph, and the good ones will always be ahead of the trend and try to figure out what's going on. But there's always there's certain core principles that they're going to hold.
AJ, what's the motto of a Bruce Arians offense?
I don't know.
Say it.
Throw it deep.
It gets said on ESPN, probably 4 or 5 times every half hour?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
No risk it, no biscuit. Bruce Arians' offense is not scared to take a 5-7 step drop and heave that thing.
I've never heard that, honestly.
Excuse me?
What's that?
Who says it? Like SportsCenter anchors?
Everybody. Everybody says it. Bruce Arians' offense, no risk it, no biscuit. You have to be able to throw the deep ball. Bruce Arians' offense, no risk it, no biscuit. You got to be able to stand in there and take a shot. It happens all the time.
Well, this is my first time hearing it, and I feel like it's already played out. So hopefully that dies down over the next coming months.
Boy, AJ! What'd you say? What do we have? We have a video of it?
No. What? Even worse.
Here we go. Oh. Tom Brady signing with the Tampa Bay Bucs tomorrow. Holy hell. Everything we thought is going to happen. Coming in with an update, our Italian friend Diggs, what happens?
It's from Colin Cowherd.
He got a text message that said there was an upset, or he had an update on Tom Brady and where he's signing.
I was told 35 minutes ago that Tom Brady signs tomorrow with Tampa Bay. He had made a decision and talked to Tampa Bay yesterday. He was willing to re-sign with New England, but he watched Stephon Diggs and DeAndre Hopkins go to other franchises and then called Robert Kraft an hour and a half later and says, I'm out. I'm told Tampa is a choice and he will sign tomorrow.
DeAndre Hopkins and Stephon Diggs really fucked over the New England Patriots fans there a little bit. But on the flip side, Tom Brady going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, that's going to be a tough team to stop, I think, at this point.
This is the best part. This is not a football source. It's an icon source and somebody in Tom's stratosphere that knows Tom and who is a famous person.
Mark Wahlberg.
Ben Affleck?
Mark Wahlberg. It's fucking Mark Wahlberg.
Marky Mark.
Mark Wahlberg's the leak right now, for sure. He's in his stratosphere. It's Mark Wahlberg.
Wow. If it is Mark Wahlberg, that'll be amazing. I hope it's Mark Wahlberg. We know how big of a fanboy he is for the New England Patriots and Tom Brady. If Colin Cowherd's sole source for this is Mark Wahlberg.
Or Dana White.
Ooh.
Or Dana
White. Dana's not tight with Colin because now the UFC's on ESPN.
True.
Matt Damon, too. Remember him and Affleck were texting Brady when Affleck was on ESPN a few months ago?
Yeah.
Well,
then remember they went to that chalkboard and they...
No, I know Ben Affleck was on the flight with the Bradys with his nanny back when Ben Affleck's whole marriage kind of blew up.
What happened? Who was doing what with the what nanny? What'd you just say? AJ.
They were rumored that Ben Affleck's nanny was on the flight with Giselle and Tom back in the day when Ben was still married. I don't know if he was separated from his wife or whatever. Oh. But yeah, Ben Affleck's very tight with Brady, it seems like.
Tom Brady's running the getaway jet
No, I don't think Tom and Giselle even knew what was going on. But later on, I think it came out, they're like, oh, wait, there was this relationship there.
Anyways, Tom Brady's going to Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Good for Bruce Arians and all that whole coaching staff. Good for the city of Tampa Bay, by the way.
Great.
All of a sudden, they become must-see television. And if they get Antonio Brown to join that offense, number 5 defense from number 32 to number 5 defense in 1 year with Todd Bowles, now you get the GOAT. Tampa Bay Buccaneers about to go do some damage down there in the NFC South. See you later.
But though, so you're saying right now, Tom Brady is going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's going to sign tomorrow. First off, why does he sign tomorrow? And is our sole source right now Colin Cowherd's Twitter account?
Well, yeah, but another account tweeted from Colin Cowherd though. So I mean, now it's two different Twitter accounts, but it is one source.
Yeah, where there's smoke, there's fire. Most likely, it's going to happen. But yeah, okay, let's guess his contract. What I say, 2 years, $60 million.
I say 2 years, $63 million.
Ooh. Okay.
Because the 30 number was floated, right? So maybe a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe 60. I don't know. That's still better than Drew Brees, which is probably something that they're thinking about. More than Phillip Rivers is going to get. And he's getting roster control and coaching control and shit like that with Bruce Arians and the boys down there. Got a lot of weapons, good defense. Here we go. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Congratulations. Never would have guessed the Buccaneers, by the way, whenever this conversation started in October about where Tom Brady's going to go. Jameis Winston was in the middle of a career year. Then those interceptions started stacking up, and all of a sudden it's like it all started to come really into picture in the last day and a half that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are probably going to be the place. They publicly leaked that they were very interested. They publicly leaked that they would let him have a little bit of roster control, and now the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are becoming must-see television, and he's getting no state tax as opposed to the Los Angeles Chargers where he'd have to pay about 85% in taxes and also be on a team that has nowhere near the amount of weapons. Wow, good for Tom Brady.
Pat, don't you think it's going to be a fun eye-opener for Tom Brady? So you've been around Bruce Arians. I have not played for him. I was reading something earlier where how different Bruce Arians is than Bill Belichick. They said Bruce Arians calls everybody like, hey, babe, like if you walk by, hey, babe, or whatever. Is that what he calls people?
Bruce Arians, my favorite Bruce Arians story is it was his first year there, obviously. It was spring ball OTAs. And he always wears the same thing. He has the Kangol hat, and then he has shorts, and he has the whole thing. He came dressed in all black one day. Okay, he had black like knee-high tights, those tight things, those compression sock things. He had black shorts on, black shirt on, a black Kangol hat on, and it was before the team meeting in the morning. And I was like, he sat next to me in the team meetings or whatever, and I was like, in the little lobby area, I was like, Bruce, you wearing all black today? He said, yeah, it's a motherfucking funeral. We killed them defense boys yesterday. And they just walked into the team meeting room, and I had, like, the whole defense was like, this mother. Like, it was just like Bruce talks shit with the defense. Like, Bruce is you feel as if Bruce is just as competitive as you are in games. You know what I mean? Like, there's a time where Bruce was the interim head coach, and we were on our own, like, 24 maybe, and it was 4th and a half yard. And I'm standing next to Bruce, who has to make the decision to punt or not. And I go, you can get a half yard, can't you? And you literally hear him go, yeah, we can get a motherfucking half yard. And then he waves me back or whatever. It's just like with Bruce Arians, like you're riding the wave with, like he is in with you. You know what I mean? He is in with you because he's been there, done that with everything. I think he coached with Bear Bryant at Alabama one point. He coached at Temple. I mean, he has been there, done that with it, and he has a lot of confidence. He has a lot of energy. His players respect him. And the fact now that he has the GOAT, he's going to work with him. I mean, this is a good match. I am excited for those two because Tom, by the way, Tom's an emotional guy too. So now you're talking about the sprint down the field, let's fucking go with Bruce Arians. I mean, that parking lot after games that Bruce Arians puts together, by the way, a tailgate after every game. Like him and him drinks with his wife, all the coaches' wives, everybody, he has drinks out there. Those games are going to be awesome for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I'm very excited about this decision.
And I would imagine that the Bucs fan base is very excited. But yeah, like you said, I know Bruce is known to love to have beers in the players' lot after the game, and it's just going to be such a different scene for Tom Brady. I think it's going to be refreshing for him. Obviously, he had an amazing thing going, one of the greatest dynasties ever in New England, the way they did it. But there's many different ways to go about it, and he's going to get there and be like, wow, okay, this is kind of cool. I kind of like this freedom, even though I'm not expecting Tom Brady to be a different character or much more like outgoing to the media or whatever. But I still think Tom's going to enjoy kind of the freedom he has there.
The Bruce Arians way is a little bit different than the Patriot way, I think.
Yeah. I mean, I hope he has success. It's fun. When a coach is a character, it's always fun. I think it's good for the game. And Bruce Arians is absolutely a character. He's an iconic guy with the Kangol hat. Like, that's just who he is. I love it. And he's not scared to speak his mind.
And proven success story. Has won. So it's like one of those guys who, you know, they don't make him like Bruce anymore. Well, he tried commentating for a year, hated it so bad, he was like, get me back in a fucking coaching job. He said wide ass open or whatever, and they like told him he can't talk. He's like, well, when you run this crossing route, this guy's gonna be wide ass open. And that was like the first week, and I was like, this is the Bruce Arians I want to hear. And then the next week he was like, well, they 5-step dropped that thing and threw a rope to the sideline. I was like, oh, Bruce got yelled at. Okay, Bruce got yelled at by the CBS employees. Okay, that's what happened. I'm pumped up for Bruce Arians in down there. Now, Jameis Winston, what the hell is going to happen with him? I guess we'll find out tomorrow on McAfee and Hawk. Are you going to do an episode 3 or no?
Yeah, I'm ready. I can definitely do it. Are we ending this one right now? Is that what you're doing? Was that the nice tease for tomorrow?
I have to pee. Bad. Very bad.
Oh, I thought you were using that bottle right there to your left.
No, well, I know you do that. That's your move. You go right underneath the table with one of them like nursing home things, right?
I mean, that sounds like something I would do.
Well, you do. You have that thing that nursing homes have.
Catheter.
No, it's not. No, it's not in them. It's like a little bottle thing that you help. Isn't that what you do?
Yeah, you can get everything on Amazon.
Well, not right now. I don't think.
Yeah, now it'll be a while before it gets to you. But, man, yeah, I'm curious. Does Jameis does he become like an instant starter, or does he go somewhere and have to compete for the job?
No, Jameis is backup.
Yeah?
I think.
I don't think Jameis is thinking that right now.
What if he goes to Chicago, and Chicago has Jameis and Mitchell Trubisky battling for the starting job? That would be awesome. Cordell Patterson will be like, this is not what I fucking meant. AJ, is there any way you can give a nice thank you to the YouTube commenters and the people that watched and tell them we'll see them tomorrow?
Yeah, of course. We appreciate anybody watching. We know it's a unique time right now that we've never been in this situation before. Hopefully we will never face this again, to where there's no sports. There's all kind of coronavirus going around the world. We need to self-isolate and figure things out. So guess what? You turn to YouTube. We need some stuff to watch. I'm trying to find stuff to watch. Hell, I've even tuned into a few Pat McAfee shows from 10 to noon every once in a while.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah, so I mean, I despise what's going on here with what this whole situation has come to at the end of these shows.
It's a promo. It's a promo.
This is only the second show, and I'm already starting to dread the end of every show, of future shows.
Me too.
Because
we
of
never
what
want
you
it
guys
to
are
end.
doing.
We never want it to end. Nope. We know we don't dread the ending. It's never going to come. It's just going to be a constant cycle, like a circle. And that speech that you give us every day to run through the wall is going to keep us going into episode 3. Isn't that
Adam
right?
Schefter right now, though. Bucs GM acknowledged there's interest in Tom Brady. The two sides spoke, but there's been no conversation today, and there's no deal in place. We're waiting to see what Tom decides, just like everyone else.
Colin Cowherd, come the fuck on!
Fraud!
All right.
But that's that's Schefter. Schefter's ESPN. Cowherd is Fox. Cowherd's not a newsbreaker guy.
Schefter was so mad that Colin Cowherd got that information. He was like, I'm calling my sources. The people at ESPN are like, how is Colin Cowherd getting text messages during commercial breaks? He's like, I'm calling my sources right now. Hold on. Wait a fucking minute. Excuse me. I thought we were telling me first where we were going. That is not the case. Cool. Put me on camera. I was just told by my sources that no deal has been reached between Tom Brady and Tampa Bay Buccaneers that was wrongly motherfucking reported by somebody other than me. That's what Schefter just did on ESPN. And I love Schefter for that, by the way. He's a G. Here comes Diggs. Diggs update here, maybe taking us to the end of the show, Diggs.
The tweet that AJ just read is from 12:57 p.m. I mean, the report that we came in from Fox Sports Radio was much sooner.
AJ behind.
I'm just presenting all sides. I don't get caught up in who's
Seems
first or
like
whatever. But it's a smart tweet by Schefter if he knew this was going to come out, because he's not saying isn't going to sign there. So when Tom signs there tomorrow, Schefter's tweet still kind of holds up.
Hold on. So what happened? Is this happening, or is he going to the Buccaneers or not?
Well, it depends on if you.
AJ, I don't need you lying about when reports are coming out.
Do you believe in football sources or idol sources?
Yeah. Does celebrity give you more credence than being a football insider guy?
I don't know.
In what level celebrity? They say it was a high level celebrity.
Icon.
On Tom's stratosphere.
So it's Dana White, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Marky Wahlberg, maybe Giselle. Maybe
Donnie Wahlberg.
No, Donnie ain't up there. Donnie ain't up there. Okay, New Kids on the Block's been a while, pal.
AJ, jeez.
They're still touring, by the way.
So what do you think? Yeah, but they're with Backstreet Boys and NSYNC and everybody. It's
right in the
by
way.
the way, smart. It's a very smart business move, but hey, come on. Hey, which one do you believe?
Jason Light has been known to lie. Remember, he lied that he didn't have the Jameis Winston burner account.
Oh yeah, that was him, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. All right. Well, I guess we'll find out more tomorrow. AJ, tell everybody.
Yes, we will. Something will happen tonight as far as
thanks.
on the Tom Brady front, don't you think?
Yeah, for sure. More, probably 5 or 6 more things are going to come out.
Yeah.
And we'll be here to cover everything tomorrow on McAfee and Hawk Sports Talk. Everybody, that's what we're talking about, AJ! AJ Hawk! AJ Hawk! AJ Hawk! AJ Hawk! AJ Hawk! Good show.
Was that a replay from yesterday?
No, that was live.
Oh, I couldn't tell.
That was live. I got to go pee. Hey, I'll
Look good.
I'll see you, man.
See you guys.
Look good, feel good, play good. Play good, pay good, die good.
Thanks, fellas.